Lifesers, it is Thursday. We are still learning about our continent of Europe. That's right. Today, I want to explore a different country in Europe. And that country is, can you see my shirt? Who can read that? Who can read that? The country is called Ireland. Ireland is a country in Europe. So lots of cool things to discover today. But I want to go ahead and focus on what kind of text are we going to be reading today. It's going to give us a bunch of information about Ireland. Okay. It's all true information and it's going to teach us a lot of things. So is it going to be a fiction or nonfiction? Whoa. Or a nonfiction book? Nonfiction, because it's not fake. It's teaching us information, right? So here you can see that on my little anchor chart here, informational books have different features here, okay? So they have all these text features and they help us understand the text better, okay? Because sometimes there's a lot going on in a nonfiction book that it helps us learn about each detail that they want us to know about. So right here you see where it says sharks. It's at the top of this picture, and we call that the heading, okay? And this shows us what is on the page so that we know what we're reading about, right? It also may be on the top of the page where there's a bunch of words. It's the heading of whatever we're going to be reading about, okay? This diagram here this helps us see real things, okay? So it may have a closer look at whatever it wants to teach us about. So here it's teaching us about sharks. So they have a close-up picture of a shark and it's pointing to all the different parts of the shark so we could learn about them, okay? And there you see where it's labeled. You see those labels? That helps us name the parts of it, right? And then we will see bold words. Now over here, you see the sentence here. It says, sharks are big fish. They live in oceans all over the world. Now, oceans was a bolded word. They want to make sure that we know that's an important word to this informational text. Okay, so they must say, you need to remember that sharks live in the ocean, not the river, not a swimming pool. But the what? Ocean. Yeah. All right. And then you have a caption, and the caption is sometimes attached to the picture, right? So the caption can help us understand what the picture is, give us a little bit more detail. Okay. So we're going to be reading a book about Ireland, and it's going to be an informational book. So it's going to have some of these text features to help us better understand the story. You ready? All right, here we see that the front page here says contents, and this is, it just shows us what we're going to be learning about in our story, okay? So a lot of things we're going to be learning about Ireland, and these are the things, and these are the page numbers that we can find this information, okay? Now, the book is called Ireland, and it's by Janice Rudolph. Who is Janice? Janice Rudolph. I said, by Janice. The author. We should all know who the author is. It's the person that what? Wrote the words. Excellent job. Let's take a look at Ireland. Whoa. Look at this. It says, this is Ireland. Look at all that green. There's a bunch of green in Ireland. It says welcoming and it's historic. It must have some ancient things in it. And remember, ancient means very old. Now here we see in our picture, we see a map. We see people in front of a building. And then it is, wow, look, it's got like a little zoomed in diagram, right? A diagram. And then it also has labels. So cool. And here's a photo here, and look at this part right down here in this little red box. This is a caption. It helps us understand what this picture is about, okay? So Ireland is a country in Europe. It shares an island with the country of Northern Ireland. And there you see Ireland. And then there is a little part of the Northern Ireland. And in this, it looks like they're at some type of store. And it says in the caption, almost 5 million people live in Ireland. So there's a lot of people in there, and it must be a very busy place. And look, here we go. We got a little diagram of a emerald. And I know what an emerald is because I see it right here in our label. Super awesome. We can also see a picture here. We've got a caption to tell us about it. We have a little picture here and in a label telling us what it is. So Ireland is known as the Emerald Island because it's so green. No wonder every time I see stuff about Ireland, it's like green. Everything is green. Very interesting. The center of the country has rolling green hills. Now, this picture right here, this caption tells us that the longest river in Ireland is the River Shannon. It's 224 miles. Woo! There's steep cliffs curve around the shores. So look how they curve around the shores. And there's a little cliff. Different groups have controlled Ireland over the years. The Vikings invaded in the 700s. They built cities such as Dublin. See a little picture, it just shows you a little bit what it used to look like way back in the day. Then the English took control almost 1,000 years ago. And then this picture here, it has a caption. It tells us it's Henry II, an English king who ruled in the 1100s. In the mid-1800s, the Irish people faced the Great Famine. What's that word? What is
famine?
What is famine? Look at this woman. Look at these two children. Ooh, look at this. It's like potatoes and it's got some rotten stuff on it. So I'm going to guess that famine is a shortage of food. So back in the mid 1800s, the Irish people were short of food. So that makes you go hungry. So they were probably not doing too well. And if you can see over here in this picture, this was a disease called blight damaged the potato crop in Ireland. So a lot of the food got diseases on it. Potatoes were a big part of the Irish diet. So there was very little to eat. And this just represents the people who were starving. For hundreds of years, the Irish fought for their freedom from England. One famous uprising, the Easter Rising, occurred in 1916. Many people died. And finally, in 1922, the Irish Free State was formed. They were free. They were free. They were free. The Irish people had their own country, but it was still a part of the United Kingdom. Look at that, girls. Look, they're so happy, right? And they're so happy because the caption says, in 1949, Ireland became a completely independent country. They were happy, right? Who wouldn't be happy? Now, the capital of Ireland is Dublin. It's also the largest city in the country. Now, if you notice, a lot of nonfiction has some bold words right here. Here is a bold word, and it's capital. And I said the capital of Ireland is Dublin. Now, what capital means, it's a city where a country's government is based. Okay. So the author really wants you to remember that the capital is important to remember because their government is in Dublin. Now there's about 1 million people that live there. Whoa. How beautiful is this? Look at that bridge and the beautiful water. March 17th. March 17th. That's a wonderful day. I'll tell you why. It's my daughter's birthday, Olivia. Olivia is 17 years old, and she was born on March 17th, which is also St. Patrick's Day. Lots of people celebrate it. Some people don't. It's okay either way. But March 17th is a big day in Ireland. It's St. Patrick's Day. And St. Patrick spread Christianity throughout Ireland in the 400s. Whoa. There's a little picture of St. Patrick himself. And then over here, you see all the people are just so happy and they're waving, they're on bikes, they got smiles, and I see a lot of green in that picture. It says people honor him, honor St. Patrick with parades. Cool. Have you ever been in a parade before? It's pretty cool. Irish people have many types of jobs. Some work on farms. So you see this big old cow, and then you see, what is this? This is a picture of butter. Cows help make butter. Did you know that? So in the caption here, it says, Irish dairy products are sold all over the world. So they may make this kind of butter in Ireland, but it's also sold here to us. Now look at this. Oh, it's like a castle or some kind, right? So cool. Other people work in tourism. They guide visitors through places like Blarney Castle. Now, you see tourism is boated, right? That means it's popping out. It's boated. So it wants us to know, to make sure we understand what tourism is. It's the business of providing information and transportation and other services to people who are travelers around the world visiting. People in Ireland make lots of yummy food. One is Irish soda bread. This sweet bread can be made with currants or raisins. That looks delicious. So delicious. All right, we're going to skip through some pages here. Ooh, I love dogs. Do you love dogs? I have a dog. She's sleeping though. Several breeds of dogs were first raised in Ireland. So breeds, again, is bolded. It wants us to know breeds. What is breeds? Why is that important? It's several types of dogs is what it's saying. There's an Irish Terrier. There's an Irish Setter. Oh, it's so cute. Look at that dog. So cute. One of the tallest breeds is the Irish Wolfhound. It can grow up to 2 feet and 8 inches at the shoulder. Now, in the caption here, it tells us a little bit more about the picture. It tells us that Irish Wolfhounds were once used to hunt wolves. That must be a really, really tough dog if it's going to hunt some wolves, because they are mean and crazy. Horse racing is a very popular sport in Ireland. The Laytown Strand races are held on a beach. Sign me up. I would be there. Now, you see over here in these two pictures, they're playing something. Kind of looks like hockey, but I don't think it's called hockey. Let's see what the caption says. Hurling is an Irish field sport. It's played with a stick called a hurley. See, it's not hockey. It's called hurling. Looks like it. Just not on ice. All right. We're all done with the Book of Ireland. And tomorrow is Friday. And we are going to learn all about something. And I'm so excited. So make sure you come back and watch our lesson tomorrow.